We all know that 2 plus 2 equals 4. I hope you do. Learning blockchain can be as easy as that. Let me show you why. So A plus B equals A and B. You already know that C plus D equals CD. Any individual letter here represents a transaction. Transactions are actions triggered by services or users. Just like I buy candy or toys and pay with mommy's credit card.
What?
Ha ha ha. If we add these transaction IDs together, we are creating hashes. In blockchain, we can protect and validate transactions faster by analyzing hashes. Let me explain more in detail.
All right!
Pay attention because I'm only going to say this once. Okay, now that we know how hashes are generated, hash pairs will continue to join. See, we have joined hash AB with hash CD. Let's finish joining the remaining hash pairs. These remaining hash pairs are other pairs found on the blockchain. What do you think we need to do next? Obviously, we have to continue adding these rejoined pairs until we have no pairs available. Now that we finalized combining all hash pairs, we end up with a root hash. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Merkle Tree. This beautiful tree allows the blockchain to encrypt all transaction data and process it more efficiently. Instead of reading every transaction individually, we generate hashes by combining pairs of transaction. Every time we combine hashes, we are creating an even stronger security on the transaction data. Imagine if you could combine 2 passwords and while combining you rearrange the order of letters and numbers. In order to access the data stored, you need to process this root password. Process the first hash or password, then this hash opens the door to 2 additional hashes. Subsequently, you process any other hashes to finally access the data. Many validation mechanisms are used to certify integrity in the transaction executed. To certify that a transaction was not altered and a legitimate confirmation can be obtained, blockchain validation consensus takes effect. A self-validation process would be ridiculous since there would be no validation certification nor integrity that would assure that a transaction is clean from any alteration. Imagine if I could take a test at school and grade it myself. I wish. Ha ha ha. But I'm afraid it defeats the purpose of validating that I got the right answers. That's why in blockchain we have different validation consensus to certify that the order of hashes is accurate. Some of the most known consensus are proof of work and proof of stake. Let's talk about proof of work and how it helps the blockchain transaction, processing, validation, and integrity. The process of fetching transactions and combining all hashes to form the Merkle tree is called mining. Miners are fast computers in charge of this task. They combine the pieces to this block puzzle, constantly building Merkle trees. Why miners earn rewards? Because they validate transactions by calculating and arranging the hashes to form a root hash in the tree, most commonly known as finding the block.
You got it!
The formula is simple. Miners are categorized based on hash rate. Hash rate is the speed a miner has to solve each hash puzzle. The more mining hash rate, the faster it can solve this puzzle and build the tree. Transaction volume also plays a role in the reward calculation. When there's more transaction volume but a lower hash rate to validate, usually a higher reward is issued. Also, the higher hash rate is available, the higher the difficulty is to find blocks to process, hence a lower reward is issued since more miners are fighting to find the same amount of blocks. There must be a balance between transaction volume and hash rate to maintain mining profitability. If more transactions are pushed into the blockchain, the higher chances of finding more blocks to obtain better profitability. Merkle trees are the most essential part of each block that gets processed, as each data transaction gets moved in a sequential order in a chain of blocks, hence the term blockchain.